Hope y'all don't mind a little music. This is Warpath. Be advised we have additional choppers from the 160.
Hello there, Sir from 17 once again, bringing you part 2 to chapter 5 in my Homefront Guerrilla difficulty video walkthrough. And this is Heartland, the deliverance section of Homefront. And right there, it says take out that dude stealthily, use your knife. And when you stab him with your knife, it sounds like you're stabbing sheet metal, and it is so loud, it's unbelievable. The knife on this game is hilarious, but right now there is a table full of weapons. So if you have any preferences and there's anything on here that takes your fancy, feel free to change to it, because there's some cool stuff on it. But unfortunately, they've all got holographic scopes, and I really don't like the holographic scope. And in all honesty, I don't know why. And I think what it is that the scope itself, as anybody knows, there's the red dot in the centre, and then there's like the outer circle with the lines on it, like the crosshair lines. And if the holographic just had the red dot, so it was a red dot sight with like a different case, I'd love it. I'd like it a lot. But because it has that extra bit on the laser reticle, it really bugs me. That's how much of a pussy I am sometimes. I don't know what it is, it irritates me. And that's why I don't like using them. In fact, the one on Medal of Honor, I fucking hated. I really did. But this section now, we're going to be pushing along this little creek, this river bottom, and we go underneath the bridge, and then there's a hill, and there's tons and tons of hillbillies that are going to attack you. And this bit can be kind of challenging, and the checkpoint is all the way back from here, so if you're having trouble with this section, you're going to run this path quite a lot. Which is bullshit if you ask me. But there we go, another magic weapon swap as I get a nice little cut in there. But the first thing I would say is, if you keep your distance on this section and you use the cover, you can snipe a lot of these guys. The only problem is, your team pushes up into that field and none of the enemies pay them any attention, so you will get dudes that will rush you. And they will literally push up to the piece of cover you're hiding behind and murder you. So you need to have your awareness set as high as you possibly can, because while you're sniping, it is really easy to get tunnel visioned and you don't realise there's a dude sneaking up on you. And this isn't like Call of Duty, they don't make a ton of noise when they're coming your way. So just clean up as many guys as you can, and if anybody gets close to you, make sure you switch out to your secondary and you kill them. But the trick to this really is patience, and just knowing how to approach it, because I died maybe 3 or 4 times here because they just kept rushing me. I mean, look at that dickhead there. If he wouldn't have stood where he stood, I would have died, because if he'd have pushed any further forward, he'd have had full range on me and he'd have murdered me in seconds, and there would have been nothing I could do. But luckily enough, he didn't. For whatever reason, his AI told him to stand there and scratch his ass, and for everything else, I'm really grateful. But once you've got rid of the guys close to you, go back to sniping, and as soon as it's looking a little bit more barren, you can start pushing out. But right now I'm getting lit up, so there's a dude out there, and I switch to my sub just in case he rushes me, but I don't think he does. And I start UMP sniping people, which is ridiculous if you ask me. The UMP on Modern Warfare 2 is quite easily the most fun weapon to run around with on that game. Don't get me wrong, rushing on Modern Warfare 2 is so much harder unless you've got a connection that's like Jesus, but it's so fun when it pays off. It really is. And that gun is like a 2 to 3 bullet kill from all ranges, and if you single shot it, you can snipe people. There is definitely something wrong. I don't get why none of the guns have hardly any recoil. It's like every gun is some fucking space age version of itself, so it's just a win button. I don't know. Modern Warfare 2 could have been probably the best multiplayer game ever made if they'd kept the amount of bullets it took to kill from Call of Duty 4, and if they'd given all the guns recoil, equivalent to maybe Call of Duty 4 and maybe Black Ops, cause then you wouldn't have these people with absolutely no skill able to compete with people with plenty of skill, cause you take the recoil away from a weapon and it just becomes who's got the faster connection. But anyhow, enough about Modern Warfare 2. So for this next section, my advice would be to use this cover as best as you can and just snipe those dudes as they push out of that area. You guys are pretty good here because they work as a distraction, so you'll see these idiots don't even know you're here yet because you're sniping them from a distance. Be very careful though, because as soon as they notice you, they will shoot you without mercy and you will die extremely quick, because that's just how the game works. And I've gone behind here because I was hoping to find a decent gun, and I have found an ACOG'd M4 with a silencer, so it is a pretty good gun, but once again, I'm not a fan of the ACOG, so it's not something I would actively seek out. And I'm using this shed now as cover so that I can snipe these dudes, and they can't really see me that well because they're too busy with my buddies trying to kill them. And as you can see, this is like shooting fish in a barrel, so it makes it really simple, and it's such a distance that if they do start shooting me, it generally gives you long enough to get in cover and regenerate your life. So keep killing dudes, don't shoot your own team like I just did then. I think I shoot every single member of my team on this section. I shoot that Korean guy next. There he is, Mr. Korean guy. He's on my team. Friendly fire was on this game, that would have screwed me so badly, but it isn't, so I'm grateful. And once it's clear, and you know it's clear, just push up as slowly as you can. You'll notice I'm jumping over cover so I don't expose myself, just in case there is one tosser left who's just sat behind some sandbags or something. And then we're going to be moving as we go past this section. You see the checkpoint pop up. The next part is pretty challenging. And the reason it's challenging is because there's even more cover than there was in that gunfight, and there's a lot of dudes. There's a shit ton of dudes. And I generally start this fight off by killing a few guys, and then moving over here to this piece of cover. And from here, you can generally snipe a lot of people. And you'll notice I'm using the M4, because it is a really good gun, and this is an area where the ACOG works a lot better than it would, say, up close, because I'm not being shot, I'm not under any pressure, and I'm able to pick my shots, and it's an accurate optic, I just don't like it. So, snipe as many dudes as you can, use this as cover. I think I've still got my sniper rifle, so I might as well use it. And just be careful, because that guy now knows exactly where I am, and every time I pop out, he's going to shoot me spot on. So, he's going to be a real pain unless I get rid of him. And it's just a case of playing intelligently. If you rush into that area, you're going to die. If you go any closer, you might have better success at killing people quickly, but so will the enemies. And the checkpoint here is literally on the hill we just run up, so you really don't want to be fucking up, because it just takes too long to get back to where you were. And that's just not how I play. So there's a couple guys on that balcony over there. Make sure you clean them up, because they do have a height advantage and they will hit you from some ridiculous angles. And there's another dude. I don't know why I didn't shoot. He might have been on my team, that might have been why I didn't shoot. But I do a bit of jumping to see if I can see anybody. I can't quite see out. There's an ACR rifle there, which is a pretty cool rifle, because when you single shot it, it's like a sniper. And I see a dude there and a dude to my right, so I crouch from the dude on my right, and I clean him up. And there we go. There's one guy left now over on that windmill, so once you kill him, that section's down, and you've done one of the more challenging parts of the level. So, check you out. And now we just have to follow our people. And this is when this level definitely starts getting a little bit more challenging, because you get to this like, it's like a country lane, and your team goes left and you go straight on towards a church. And you'll notice I'm not packing the best guns. Like, I managed to fuck myself, so I get this submachine gun and I get an M16, and the M16's using its iron sights, and I've already mentioned that the iron sights on the M16 fail me. And what happens here is you run up towards that church you can see there, and I think there's two guys talking. There's one guy on each of the balconies to your left and right, and then there's another two guys that come out of the door. And I've tried this section numerous times trying to hit them from a distance with the M16, and it just failed me, and I ended up dying a ton of times. And in the end, I do it by rushing. And the reason for this is, the more distance you have between you and the computer, the easier the AI can kill you. When you're up close, don't get me wrong, the AI will kill you really fast, but it takes them a couple of seconds to respond to you. And what I do here is I utilise the fact that I've done this checkpoint maybe 10-15 times because I died a lot, and I just take advantage of knowing exactly where the enemies are going to come from, and I kill them before they can react. I would not advise this strategy for any other part of the game, because you'll just die, but on this bit I was getting so pissed off that I was literally thinking, fuck it, I'm just going to rush, and that's exactly what I do. So this is where it starts. You come in here, if you rush straight forward, there's two guys there, look how they don't react to me. Kill the first guy, kill his pal, straight away run over to the right, one guy comes on that balcony, kill him, immediately spin round, there's a guy on the other balcony that drops down, clean him up, and then two guys run out of that door to the right of the church, so clean them up. And if you do that, you've killed everyone in this section. And let me tell you, I died a lot on this area, and I thought it was really difficult, because I think there's one more guy, and he lights me up. Yeah, he's there. So be careful of him. 3 guys come out of that main door. But that looks absolutely easy. There'll be people, I no doubt, will comment on this video saying, you're not on Guerrilla difficulty, you didn't get shot at all. But I assure you, I was, and that is the best way to do that section. And when you come in here, use the noob tube. I'm completely against noob tubes in multiplayers because I think they're cheap and bullshit. But on this section, these enemies will kill you before you know where you are, and the checkpoint is before you killed all those guys at the front of the church. So I would implore you to be as cheesy as you possibly can. And there's 1 guy directly across from you that I killed, and there's 2 guys on this bottom floor. So be as tentative as you can because they kill you so quick, it's just like lightning. And do you see the hit markers there? That means I got the 2nd guy. And if you come over here, there's a sniper rifle, which is awesome. It's pretty much an intervention. The picture looks like one. And what happens here is I've accidentally dropped my M16, so I need to go pick that up. But on this left-hand corridor, if you push, past that plastic there, that red plastic, as you get across here, a guy will spawn in front of you. There he is, noob tube him. As soon as he spawns, it means the guy to your right on that opposite balcony is there. Do you see him? I knew he was going to come because he killed me. And it's just one of those things where if you know where they are, you can take them out properly. And once you've done that, you are safe to push up. But there's going to be another guy spawn, and he comes to your right. Do you see him? He just ran across. Don't mess about. Noob tube. Insta-kill him. There you go. Job's done. And then when you've killed him, push up again. And I think there's 1 more guy when you climb up this ladder, and I completely forgot about him. I thought I'd done it, and I nearly died, so be really careful when you climb up here. He's up this 2nd ladder, not the 1st one. And he's on your right, or he's straight ahead of you, where that opening is. And he really messes me up, because I completely forget about him. And I look the wrong way, so I look there, and he's there. Look at that. How I didn't die, I don't know. But now your guys know he's there, he should never mess you, and you should be fine. So pop up, noob tube. And you've done one of the hardest sections in the game. But unfortunately, the next video is the hardest part of Homefront. And it's all from this gay balcony, so fingers crossed you shouldn't have half the trouble I had, and hopefully you'll get it in 1. But we're coming to the end of the video, guys, so once again, thanks for watching, thanks for supporting. Tell your friends, tell your mum, tell your priest, and I'll speak to you later. You take care now.